Eamon, did you send out an agenda, or is it just one topic?
There was no agenda that came out. It was just one topic. It's the COVID vaccine.
Okay.
I would think this is going to be short and sweet, Mr. Chairman.
I think it will. Up to Dr. Van.
Given the governor, given the Han notice.
Well, but I think that there's a different aspect, and I wanted to share it with you, so we'll talk about it as soon as we get online.
All right.
All right, you guys are live.
Okay.
Friday, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please know any comments by the public are welcome and can be emailed to public.comment@lsbme.la.gov. Jacinta, please confirm you verify the identity of all tele and video conference participants.
I have not, Chairman. You're gonna have to do a roll call of your advisory committee members.
Okay, is the sound clear and audible to the public and those on the tele and video conference?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
All additions to the executive or public agenda must be made presently, as we will no longer make additions to the agenda after the close of the public session. Okay, we'll have a roll call and a quorum confirmation. Diana, can you call the roll, please?
Okay, I have Sheila Guidry.
Here.
Beth Hamilton,
Here.
Mike Nolan,
Here.
Raymond Beasley,
Here.
Dinah Mirandino here, Ken Alexander,
Here.
Dr. Van,
Here I am.
there you are. And also in attendance, we have Jacinta and Shannon Cyprian.
I'll be here too. I'm present.
Oh, sorry, Stafford, I'm sorry. My check mark.
Remind me, what position does Shannon hold with the board?
Shannon is one of our licensing analysts, and she handles the bulk of the respiratory therapy licensing. And if I haven't said it accurately, Shannon, please correct me.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a quorum, so we'll proceed with the agenda. And at this time, is there any public comments that do we have?
There are no public comments at this time.
All right, we're going to move on to new business, scope of practice question in regards to respiratory therapists administering the COVID vaccine. Dr. Van, I'll turn it over to you so you can let us know what the board's decision was on this issue that we presented to them.
All right, so the board really doesn't have a problem if this is something that you are doing at your institution. If your institution is doing mass vaccinations, you are working for them. You are in fact taking it as an order from a doctor. They have trained you how to do injections. If to their satisfaction, we don't have a problem. Where we do not have the ability, and nor do we think it's appropriate, especially in the light of the recent governor's order, to allow respiratory therapists to give the vaccine without an order. And that's what the recent Han was about, that everybody got a copy of. If you didn't, let me know, we'll send it to you. But the key here is that as long as it's an institutional-based issue that you're working through your regular employer, that's fine. Also, if you're volunteering, let's say you have a public service group, church group, or something like that, that has a doctor supervising and you're basically covering the order, and they're training you and you're working with them, we got no problem with that either, okay? But it would be to do it for profit or to do it outside of your agency for profit in a situation where you were giving it without the order of a doctor, and that would be a problem. So I'm not sure if that answers your question to your satisfaction, but we think that's the best we can do.
So a question for me, Dr. Van, is to clarify, like if it's a mass vaccination site, one of the community vaccination sites where, let's say Raymond's through the Ochsner system is sponsoring a community vaccination site, Ray goes. So those vaccinations in a lot of those situations are given, and correct me if my understanding's wrong, is given under Joe Cantor's blanket state health officer order, right? So
That
then
may be correct, or it could be from one of the Oxford doctors who's running the clinic that day. It's any number of possibilities for that order.
So in the case of a lot of these community events, mass vac sites, all of these, oftentimes those are done, if there's not a facility base, they've always got an order associated with it. It's just a blanket order from Joe. Is that correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then, yeah, then there's not a situation in a volunteer or organizationally based vaccination scenario where the therapist would not be covered under the order.
That's correct. And additionally,
Okay.
they would be part of a volunteer to the service agency who is responsible for the work of the vaccine mass inoculation.
So the only caveat here, the only out then is if they're attempting to offer their services for salary or other profit.
That and also without an order from a physician.
Without an order for a physician. Okay. Got it. So they can't go to work for the rural health clinic down the street and make $30 an hour doing vaccines. Or
No,
they can as long as there's an order associated with it.
Right. If the rural health clinic wants them to hire to do that, that's fine. But because that's their functioning in the institution that they're working for.
Okay.
Just as if the XYZ hospital that employs a respiratory therapist says, we're looking for people to come in and we'll pay you time to work, or we'll pay you overtime if it's on a Saturday and you want to come in and give those shots, then that's fine. It's all part of the institutional process.
Got it.
But to set up to be outside and say, well, we're going to just, the Van Collada Respiratory Therapy Clinic is now giving vaccines. I don't have an order. You come in, you get a shot. I charge you $50 or whatever. We don't want that to happen.
I got you. Okay.
I have a question.
Gillen, go ahead.
Okay. The National Guard, it appears, is going to be allowed to give them without a physician's order, according to what was sent out by the board.
Actually, the governor.
Oh, the governor, I'm sorry. It says must be followed in their entire, without the need of an individualized patient-specific prescription or order from a physician or other prescribing practitioner. If they meet the following criteria, and there's some criteria from the National Guard that they meet. But it says without a physician's order.
Sheila, I thought that was without a specified physician order. I mean, the way I'm looking at it, if the National Guard is delivering these vaccines, it's going to be under a huge group entity. And again, let's take the Ochsner's LSU system up here, who's working with Christus and with Willis Knight and all at the fairgrounds, that the National Guard would be up underneath there. I don't think the National Guard is on a street corner just themselves delivering. They're working for these big agencies trying to mass vaccinate.
Right, because the public, Sheila, it's no different than my wife. I took her to CVS last Friday to get her vaccine. So there's not a physician on site. She didn't have an order. So it falls under the blanket state health officer order Dr. Cantor saying, hey, he provides a blanket standing order for anybody that is qualified and eligible to receive a vaccine to get that vaccine. It's under his order. So the National Guard or other individuals, if you want to volunteer with your church giving vaccines and they sign up in links as a provider and CDC as a provider, then your church can give vaccines. And it falls under, and Dr. Collada can correct anything I'm saying if I'm understanding incorrectly, your church can give those vaccines under that blanket state health officer order that's been generated for the length of the PHE.
Correct. So respiratory therapists should be able to do the exact same thing under that blanket order.
Yes, it's my understanding from what Dr. Collada just said, yes. And from the HAN, yeah, the health action alert that came out of the department yesterday.
Right.
You're on mute, Dr. Van.
The health action alert, thank you, Raymond. The health action alert was given basically for people who are vaccinating in private clinics without an MD, and it specified who could give it without an order. They did not specify respiratory therapy, so we can't allow that.
Right, I understand that. So basically, Dr. Van, off the top of your head, do you know what the verbiage would be for when this statement would come out for respiratory therapists?
My feeling is, if you want a statement, we'll get you a statement. Yeah, I think the key here is that it really is just, we look at it as part of your job. It's not a problem. If it's part of a volunteer thing, it's the person or the agency that you volunteer with that has your supervisory capacity. And so it's not a problem there. I mean, if you want us to come out with a statement, we will, but we feel like if you're working for the XYZ hospital and they do mass vaccinations and they're going to pay you to go do it, we don't have a problem.
Okay.
That's part of your work, and is with the way we look at it.
Right. Okay. That's what I was wondering.
I think what I'm reading into this, Sheila, is it's not, is the board's covering the instance where a therapist may be trying to make undue profit. And given the situation, instead of working under the auspices that they normally work of, which we always operate under a physician's order. So whether that's standing order or specified order, specific order.
Right, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Anyone have any other questions?
Sir, Mr. Chair, do we need to vote? I mean, this came out on a HAN, so does it require any action from us at all? I would not think so.
You're on mute, Doctor.
You're muted, Dr. Van. Still muted.
I would not think so, quite frankly. I think it's
right.
It's up to you all. If you all want something, I'll give you something, but I don't think, because we don't think it's going to do anything different to the way you practice and work.
Right.
Any other questions for Dr. Van?
No, sir.
Well, Dr. Van, we appreciate you working with us on this and getting a speedy answer for us so we can move forward and try to help the citizens of Louisiana with this pandemic. And with that being said, do you foresee the governor anytime soon lifting the pandemic statute he has on?
Do I see it? No. If you're asking Van's personal opinion, it's different than what we did. My personal opinion is I think we will be under a state of emergency at least until October, maybe November. However, if the governor ends it, and I've already spoken personally to the governor about this, if the governor ends it tomorrow, all of those temporary permits will be for 90 days, and they are for 90 days after the end of the emergency period. So whenever he ends it, we told him, we don't want to usurp your authority, but we want to be able to have an orderly transition of care for all of our citizens, so that if you got a therapist that's doing home visits for respiratory therapy and he can't do it anymore, they'll be able to transition 90 days to get somebody who is from the state who can do it and not on a temporary license. So whenever the governor ends it, he ends it, but everybody's temporary permits that were granted during this period will be good for 90 days to allow the orderly transition of care for our citizens.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions of Dr. Van on this topic?
How do you get the temporary permit?
Well, there are mechanisms. There are multiple mechanisms to apply for a temporary permit. You can apply for the gubernatorial exemption strictly for respiratory therapists. There you can apply through the LAVA, LAVA, Louisiana Volunteer Association, but LAVA is run out of LDH. You can volunteer through there, or you can apply directly to us for a temporary license. So we have a number of ways and number of types of temporary permits during this period.
Thank you.
Hey, Raymond, just a quick question. So that I'm sure there's a lot in the field that will not see the HAN alert that went out yesterday. It's not a board issue, but is there a communications plan to get this out on the street to where hospitals, therapists, et cetera, like through LSRC, through AARC, through other channels? Is that possible to where they can get that broad visibility?
The HAN alert was sent to every licensee of this board.
Oh,
Now,
awesome.
if the licensee does not maintain an accurate email address, I can't guarantee it will get to them.
Right.
But that's why every one of our licensees, all 34,000 of them, have their own portal to adjust their email address, physical address, phone numbers, and anything else. And that's if somebody says, I'm not getting any emails, and say, go fix your portal and adjust the things that you need to do. But we send email blast yesterday on that HAN alert to all of our licensees and to all of our employees in the agency, so they know what's going out as well.
So Ken and Dr. Van, y'all talking about the alert that went out yesterday about if you've been vaccinated and the quarantine and all of that?
Well, that was one of them. And the other one that went out was the alert on who can do the vaccinations without orders.
Okay.
Everything, let me say this, if LDH sends it to me, we send it to the appropriate people. And when some of these things are broad-based, we just dump it to everybody. If it's just really physician-based, prescriber-based, we dump that to our physician surgeons and PA base. We don't have a base for APRNs because we don't regulate them.
Hey, did y'all receive that?
I'm sorry, Brett.
Oh, no, we're just asking. Hey, did y'all receive that one? I'm actually looking at mine. I didn't receive the HAN.
I didn't either. That's what I was just getting ready to say, Brett. I did not read. I'm looking at both work and my email address I have registered with the board, and I didn't receive it.
Okay, me neither. I just got that one for the quarantine guidance is the only one that I received yesterday.
Well, it would have been 2 days ago, I think, it's the one about the licensing issue. I mean, the RN and who could give it without an order specifically, and that was sent out probably 2 days ago. But let me look and see if I can find it on my email address.
I got one on March 1st. Got one on March 3rd about the impersonators. I did see the one from yesterday. I just don't know where I hit it at.
I did not get the one from the 3rd. I'm gonna have to go on the website and double check my email because I was getting them routinely, and then all of a sudden it just popped my memory. I haven't been getting them in the recent weeks.
Well, I got mine, so I know it went out. It was Tuesday.
Huh.
Hey, Dr. Van, what was the heading on that email?
Oh, hang on. It's gonna just generally say, it's gonna be from the LSBME. Let me see if I can get it again.
1 to 2 today. Brent, did you get the one on the quarantine guidance?
Yeah, sure did.
I get those, but I get them straight from the department. So I
get them both ways. That's why I'm having trouble finding it. I apologize.
Yeah, me too. But I'm looking and I did not get it. Not on that email. Let me check my LHA email Tuesday.
I'm checking another email right now too. Give me a second.
Yesterday, I got the updated COVID-19 guidance, quarantine guidance.
Okay.
The day before, I got the viral transport media from OPH.
Got that one.
I have not gotten anything from the board since December 7th.
You better check your portal.
Yeah, no kidding.
We voted you off the island, Ken. I'm sorry.
Man, I'm telling you, it's like, dang. Yeah, it was Monday, 12/7/2020 is the last thing I got from LSBME.
Well, you better check that issue. And if you're running into any problems, shoot me an email and I'll make sure the right people get to fix it for you if you can't fix it.
Thanks, I will. I'm doing that now.
But they come from LSBME when we send it. Now, just like you get them from LDH, I get them from LDH, and I just forward them on to my people to send out. But let me see if I can find the one you're specifically asking.
Slowly getting better. You didn't get out of the house.
Jacinta, while he's looking for that, after this meeting, will you forward me this agenda just for my records?
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.
And if you can
Now I got to find out how to get back in my portal.
It's a username and password issue.
I usually just reset that. Yeah, the only time I ever
password.
The only thing I haven't done, I always just renew my license. So I'm looking for work.
You probably need to establish your portal account if you don't have one.
All right, I will figure out how to do that.
All right.
All right.
It went out Monday evening, Tuesday morning.
Yep, don't have it. But that's my own issue.
Well, anybody who's not getting emails, please, check your account with us, your portal with us, because if you don't change or update that, we don't ever really get to know it. All we know is that it's been bounced back. And we don't address bounce backs because we feel like y'all are all adults and you can send us your email addresses.
All righty. The only other thing that I'd like to mention is I had a conversation with Dr. Dan a couple of days ago, and he's offered if we've had any, if we had a group that would like a Zoom education on CE Broker, he'd be happy to do it. So we can bring that up to the LSRC and see if they would like to advertise it and see if there's a desire out there for individuals to attend one of these Zoom classes that we can set up.
Hey, Van, I'm registered. I'm in. I've got accurate emails.
Okay.
And I don't.
Okay, then look in your spam box because some people spam automatically. It's because we send so many of them some days. It may be going in your spam box.
Okay. What is it? What is the difference between lock and unlock? Do I hit unlock and then, or lock, or?
I'm not sure what you're asking about.
On address contact details, there's a box on the side of your mailing user email and contact cell that says lock. If you click it once, it says unlock, but the other one says lock. Everybody knows that.
Unlock it, change it to what you want it to be, and then lock it. If it's correct, to leave it alone.
Got it. All right, I'll check my spam. That's weird.
Okay. Is there any public comment?
Let me look into my email real quick. I have no public comment.
Okay. With no further business, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank y'all very much.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Deb second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All righty.
Thanks again. Have a good day and have a great weekend.
Thanks so much. Bye, guys.
Everybody, y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.